The question is, do you need a lawyer
No.
or a divorce coach?
Of course.
Well, yeah, and it depends.
Yeah, that's the short answer.
Right, right.
At least according to me, because I'm the divorce coach. You're the lawyer, so.
Lawyers do important things in the court. In a way, we are, as lawyers, we're officers of the court.
Right.
And we have a function within that system to present a case. And most people don't know how to present a case to a court.
Right.
It's taken me years to learn how to do it.
Right.
And there's various rules of evidence, for example, that where certain things are admissible, certain things are not admissible. And I would say the single most difficult thing I do in my litigation process is cross-examination.
Trial.
Right. So we've got somebody who gives testimony, and your job is to cross-examine that witness. You have a chance to ask your own questions of that witness, and most people don't know how to do that well.
There's certain situations where you definitely do need a lawyer, and if you get in that deep and, your ex has an attorney and they won't, you're not able to resolve your case and you end up getting drug into litigation,
right.
Kicking and screaming. I mean, I think there's times that you need a lawyer. We're certainly not right. saying at all that somebody doesn't need a lawyer, but sometimes, the coaching is what's needed, because if you can change your mindset, change your behavior, change your actions, you might be able to get your case into a place where you can
right.
you can solve it with the other party. People react very emotionally in the beginning, and what that can do is create a situation where the court is seeing you, as the problem. And then I think as the case progresses and the parties kind of move on a little bit and the emotions kind of die down, really then you can start to sort of peel back that emotional layer and see what the actual dynamics are.
I really do wish that all my clients would get divorce coaches.
Yeah.
Because I can't manage them in that way. I spend a lot of time talking to people about how the court expects you to behave and how the court expects you to behave towards your ex, and how to be in a courtroom and present somebody that's not going to wear the black hat in the case.
Right.
And this is not a job that I can do well. This is a job that I refer to Tammy a lot of the time.
Right, because you're busy trying to manage the legal aspects of your case.
Yeah.
And that's where you want your lawyer focused. You want your lawyer focused on the legal aspects of your case. You don't want the lawyer focused on trying to help you manage your emotions or help you understand what's happening. I mean, to me, a divorce coaching is unique. It's different than other types of coaching because it's not just life coaching or whatever. It also is helping you understand the nuts and bolts of what's happening.
Yeah.
What is the process? What did it mean when this happened? Why do I have this hearing scheduled? Why did this hearing get moved? Why didn't we go forward? Why are we having to go talk to somebody about custody? People don't understand the moves that lawyers make strategically in their case.
That's true.
They don't understand what's happening.
And we use words like vicissitude.
Yes. We always have a word of the day from the attorney.
Yeah.
And so, even the thing that's most basic to an attorney that they do every day, the layperson doesn't understand that or understand the process. And I know this because I was that layperson, and I didn't understand anything that was happening when it was happening in my divorce.
The minute you start talking to me as an attorney, I'm making evaluations.
Right.
So I go into kind of a judgment mode.
Right.
Which, of course, is for most people want to be heard.
Right. And that's what your divorce coach is for. Your divorce coach will help you feel heard, and your divorce coach can help you get clear on what you want from your attorney and how to get that.
Yeah.
So if this is the answer I want from the attorney, what do I say? What do I do? How do I present that information in a way that they're going to give me what I'm looking for? I think that, when you are choosing a lawyer, you want somebody that is problem solving and experienced and
handsome. Oh. Maybe not.
And somebody that cares about helping you, that you're not just a number or a dollar or whatever. Yeah. But when you're looking for a divorce coach, I think you need to consider what you're looking at there. You do need somebody to help you manage the emotions. You also need somebody that has a fluent understanding of the court process, because somebody that's come into the divorce coaching business from being a life coach or going through their own divorce or whatever, that person's probably going to be able to help you with the emotions, but they're not necessarily going to be able to help you with the technicalities of what's happening in the process.
Right.
And I think those two things go together. And if you can find somebody that has that, it will greatly reduce your legal fees.
Right.
And
I had a divorce coach.
Yeah.
And his background is that he's a holistic health practitioner.
Right.
And absolutely brilliant divorce coach. I benefited, but I had the advantage of already knowing the legal side.
The process.
Right.
Yeah, you already knew what the process was and you understood it. And,
And he really helped me manage my feelings around, when we were in mediation, for example, he was sitting next to me and kicking me under the table when I said something stupid.
Yeah. But what happens is a lot of times people hire an attorney and they don't really realize how much they're spending, through calling and emails and all the different things until they get their first bill. And then suddenly after they get their first bill, you stop hearing from them near as much because they've realized how much it's costing them. But really, if you'd got that divorce coach on your team at the time and utilized them, it can greatly reduce your legal fees.
Right. Just having those two roles delineated helps a lot.
Right.
I need my clients to know how to behave.
Right.
Because I can't micromanage their court demeanor or their ability to answer questions on the witness stand, or their ability to their method of interacting with their ex.
Right. And honestly, when you're helping somebody manage those types of things, you need to be pretty accessible.
Right.
Like a lot of times clients need to be able to get a hold of me. Occasionally I do same day, emergency sessions, but a lot of times within a day or two they need a session and I can usually, get them in somewhere. But if you're calling to talk to your attorney, depending on their schedule or if they have trial or whatever's going on, you might have to wait 2, 3, 4 days. And by then you've already gone and behaved in some way you shouldn't have, Honestly, I find that communication between co-parents is one of the top issues that I coach on. And I don't care how many people, I've had so many people who just don't think this is going to work, don't think it's going to help, don't think it's going to change anything. You don't know my ex, Tammy. You don't know blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And I am telling you, flipping the switch on that communication almost always, I would say 97% of the time, produces a change in the other person. Because if you do something different, they've got to react differently.
Right. In the context of
just doing something different.
In the context of the co-parenting relationship, just being nice.
Right.
Because they're expecting
you to be nasty. Because every divorcing couple is nasty. Every divorcing couple is nasty to each other.
So she's expecting you to be nasty. What's going to, if you should behave towards her in a way that makes her go, what is wrong with him? Yeah. What's gotten into him?
Yeah, he's being nice. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And just, anything you can do to change that up a little bit. And that's something that a coach will give you.
Yeah. And in a way, like, having that front keeps them from being able to intrude emotionally. Because if they think you're doing well and everything's fine, It creates this illusion that's kind of upsetting to them. Well, look, they're fine after all of this,
Yeah.
And it's almost like we want the other person to be, like that little piece inside of us wants the other person to be miserable because we're not there.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you can create a communication record or Talking Parents or Our Family Wizard or whatever you're using, and you can create a communication where that other person is being the difficult one and you've consistently been the reasonable one, that's going to help your attorney.
Yeah, I love that kind of record.
Yeah,
and it almost never happens.
Right. and even if you've had a history of problems, start now.
Yeah.
The sooner you start, the faster it'll start working in your favor. You can help get the result that you want so much faster by behaving the way you need to, communicating the way you need to, controlling your emotions, providing your lawyer with the information that they need, all that kind of stuff. It's important to understand like what aspects of this, a coach would help with versus an attorney. And sometimes you need one, sometimes you need the other, sometimes you need both. A lot of times I have people that stay with me over a long period, even if their divorce is final, because for at least a while, you will still have those flare-ups of emotions if you're co-parenting, to where you're tempted to, just like our person that we coached for 2 or 3 years, and then when he was left to his own devices, he went off the rails.
Right.
And so I think that the ongoing co-parenting issues is one of the key area. The communication there is one of the key areas of coaching.
Right, and I think the best use of an attorney is after you have decided what those objectives are.
Right.
Then you go and you say, as a legal proposition, how do we get there?
Right.
And I can help you with that, but I can't deal with your emotions in real time.
Right. Right. Very, very true.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.